Hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank all of our donors. Everyone has been helping me get some funds so I can keep paying my seamstress Maria, who came up with these masks that I think, since I don't use the machine that much and I found it very simple, I want to share with everybody so maybe you can get an example and maybe try this model. What I like about it is that first of all it has the space for the filter, and then the other thing that I like is that when you do this, it really covers your face and it's super comfortable. You have, space for breathing, and it kind of is very tight here and also around your nose. And you just need like one piece of fabric. I also made one with no sewing machine, just by hand, and I also want to show everyone the steps for this in case you don't have a sewing machine at home but you still want to have your own mask, so you can go to the supermarket or whatever. That if you are doing the masks for donation to other people, you should have a few precautions about the sanitizing of the masks. I am not doing it right now because I will wash all the masks with hot water before I donate. I can just like tie my hair in the back. And if you are donating directly after you finish the masks, I have read that you should be wearing your own mask and gloves. So what I have here is a piece of cotton fabric, and then I have a square it's not a square, but it's a rectangle that I already cut. It's 16 inches by 9. This is 23 centimeters by 41 centimeters. Make sure that you place your fabric in the edges of your mold so you don't waste any fabric. I put just some pins here so it doesn't move, and then I proceed to cut the fabric. This is the first time that I make anything like this, so excuse me if I get nervous. I am usually better when nobody's watching me do these things, but okay. So we cut the fabric on this side as well. And then the last part. I want to state that I am not a seamstress. I'm a costume designer, so I usually design and then I have amazing teams that help me put together stuff. Okay, so then I forget about this one because this I'm not going to use for the mask. We only need one. So we take our fabric, we put it facing backwards, and then I'm gonna fold here one edge, just like 1 centimeter, and I press, and then I do the same on the other side. I fold and press. So after I fold and press both edges of the fabric, I'm gonna use my sewing machine to stitch along these lines first. After you have your stitches in both edges, you're gonna fold it to the center and make sure that these lines are kind of overlapping just a little bit, and also that they are as centered as possible. Then I'm just gonna press here to make sure that I have everything in place. Okay, and now we're gonna go and work with these corners. I'm gonna use my measuring tape and I'm gonna count about 2 inches on each corner, like this. Okay, and just mark it so I know where I'm going to do my stitches next. Okay. So then I'm gonna go back to the machine. I'm gonna stitch along these lines, okay? So now I'm just going to cut these edges, and then we're gonna bring it to the front side of the fabric like this, and I just press it so we have a more flat area. Okay, now we are going to fold to the center, making sure that we also have the same measurement that we did in the corners. Here are 2 inches, and then I press. Same thing on the other side. I measure 2 inches, I press. Okay, so I'm gonna fold my triangle and make sure that this makes a straight line and it comes to the corner of my triangle here. And then I'm just going to put a pin for later, and I'm gonna do the same here. I fold it until the edge and the edge are together. Then here I bring the corner to the edge and make sure it's a straight line, and the same here. Yeah, like this. So this is how it should look like, and then we're gonna go back to the machine and we're gonna stitch around these 4 lines here. I'm just gonna do 1 line because it's faster. You don't need to do it. You can do like 1 corner and 1 corner, depending. If you're hand sewing it, then probably you're not gonna do the full line around here, but it's faster for me. So now our mask is almost ready. We just need to add the bias tape. So first of all, we're gonna find the middle of our bias tape, which is here, and I'm gonna mark with a pin. And then I'm going to do the same with my mask. I'm gonna, well, see how here there's a difference between the two. If you have this, what I would do is just like make sure that the edges are the same level both, and then yeah, find the middle of my mask as well, just so I can have a reference and know exactly where they both should be attached. Sometimes it's better, like if you have more than 4 or 5 pins, it's best to just use like as much as possible so you are sure that it won't move when you go to the machine. So I'm gonna do this here, and then same on the other side. Okay, so now our mask is ready. We are only missing the filter that will go in here. I got this from Amazon. It's called Dry Sweeper Refill. It's a non-woven material. It's unscented. It has a deep texture, and it's the best that I've found with the scarcity and everything. And what we are doing to make sure that we are able to do more masks is we're cutting this in half and then save one for the next. And then we just put this here. I think that you can put the filter, but if you're donating, it's best if you leave it empty so the people at the medical facilities or whatever can add their own. But basically we're just adding these because we're donating to people in the streets and cashiers, people at the supermarkets, cleaner staff, public transportation employees, etc. So we want them to have at least one filter that they can compare to when they want to refill it. So this version of the mask is the one that takes more time and is a little more sophisticated. I'm just gonna finish this here because I know that some of you want to go to start sewing right away, and then I'm gonna add another video with the instructions for the handmade mask. Thank you so much. If anybody wants to help us out, me and my seamstress Maria are sewing masks for donations. She is a working class woman with a family of 5. They are currently not working, so I asked her to help me make these masks. She does about 30 a day. I only do like 4 or 5 because I'm not that good with the machine, as I said. And we have a crowdfund campaign going on. The idea of this tutorial is that also if you cannot donate, is because maybe you are in need of a mask and you also cannot afford one. I hope that with these instructions you can. And just remember, try to use cotton fabrics, nothing stretchy, nothing vintage. You can do like a t-shirt, you can use an old pajama, blanket, sheets, cotton sheets are perfect, or pillowcases. That's what they are recommending. And then also I wanna say a shout out to the Facebook group Rosie the Seamstress, and they also have a very useful information on where you can donate, where the masks are needed, or how to continue helping throughout the US. Thank you so much, and I hope that we get over this soon and stay safe.